So it's been a hot minute since we covered SMALLAND. This game was kind of meant to be coming out before the end of 2021, but they did announce that they would be delaying it to 2022. They also said they was going to have a free demo for us to try, and that looks like that still is the case, but it's still going to be a bit of a way away yet. As we go into 2022, SMALLAND is in easily my top 5 games I'm looking forward to overall in terms of survival. It could be the big contender to games like Ark or Grounded, obviously having a focus on taming creatures, exploring environments and biomes, all in the shape of these small little creatures. So I've been covering this a long time now, and we've got some interviews with developer up as well on the channel, so go and check some of them videos out if you want more. But let's go over what's exactly been going on in the last couple months. Going to go through all the last 3 or 4 dev blogs they put out on their Steam page and then the other stuff I found out, and then preview a lot of clips they've shown on social media showcasing Beatles, snow and much more. Let's go. Someone's asking if there's skills or talents or something that can help you progress, like beast taming, flight stuff, something like that. And they've said you can earn various skills and advantages by working with a creature faction, aiding yourself and helping them in various ways in order to trust and advantages unique to a particular species or character. Your choices here will impact the way you shape your character. So this is pretty old news. We knew that you would have some factions and that possibly you'd get benefits from being siding alongside maybe a certain colony of ants or certain type of creature. But definitely it is something you should really know that as well. Like hammering down, it seems like it's a really important core part of the game. Someone's asked if there's toads or frogs, and there are. There are toads within SMALLAND, huge lumbering toads that secrete a deadly venom. They keep to themselves and not overly territorial, but have an appetite for smaller creatures such as ants. Maybe we'll learn more about toads in a future creature feature. Yeah, they look alright. Like I said, it could be pretty cool. Obviously it's got a venom, so that means that we might not be able to go near it too much, but maybe we can neutralise it to use them as a tame. Well, they might be quite similar to some of the other creatures like the grasshoppers in the game in terms of jumping. So, someone's asked about humans. Now, of course, there are no humans in SMALLAND. The absence has made it safe for the small folk to finally emerge back to the land of the small, where they belong after going into hiding many generations ago. So that's part of the game. We're going to kind of work out and find out exactly what's maybe happened to the humans. Or maybe not. I don't think it's like the main part of the game. But certainly we will come across plenty of clues as to why I guess the humans have disappeared or gone extinct. So in another feature back from November that I missed out on, we've got one talking about customization. And effectively you will be able to change up the ears of your player, your characters, but they're still going to be pretty fantasy led. So they've got some that are going to be a bit more bat-like. So yeah, you're not going to necessarily get human ears on some of these creatures. But there are elf ones. There's many features of small folk that are the product of evolving to adapt and survive underground. And yes, there will be lots of different skin tones. Emerging from the underground, the initial choice is varied, but based on how someone would look if they had never seen sunlight. Even through progression and exposure, the true state of the small folk starts to emerge. First through traditional human skin tones, then evolving into weird and colourful ones. That'd be cool if eventually, later on, you could either change how you look, or maybe something actually happens and you do change as you play the game. Or is it simply just going to be a case of being able to buy something to change your colour? Are wasps tameable? Wasps are currently chaotic and angry, unlike the friendlier bees, and the more noble but agreeable hornets, so they're not fond of the idea of being mounted by small folk. That's surprising. Normally I feel like, hornets get a bad rep, but seemingly in SMALLAND it looks like hornets could be a bit more friendly. And so back to the most recent stuff. This blog got posted on Friday. Will there be bigger areas in the map that are free of trash and left over of humans? Many of the little clips we've seen take place in polluted surroundings. Yes, truth be told, these are easier to create initially, so when you see behind the scenes in some of these shots, you have some of the more developed areas, whereas the more organic ones take much more time to create, so they look and feel organic, but still have regular gameplay spaces regarding size, height. Initially in the very early days we did lots of experiments in areas that either looked right or felt right, but rarely both, so it meant a lot of level design rules and revisions, but the short answer is yes, lots of overgrown areas. And in clips I'm going to show you in a second, we know there's cars and stuff that you will be able to jump into. Yeah, so interesting to see how they blend it all together. Can I ride only my animal friends, or will they protect me like the game Horizon Zero? It depends on the creature. Some follow and some are mounts when tamed. Mounts have different strengths and weaknesses in different situations, and your allies will sometimes attack when you attack, like a loyal steed, or initially retreat but attack if you are attacked. So basically you've got to get your trust level. Again, I've gone through this before, but yeah, the creatures aren't necessarily just going to be a killing machine by your side. They'll be a bit scared from conflict at first, some of them, and you're going to have to work up that trust to get that level requirements with them before they'll actually start being your friend. Some will attack a creature on the same level of the food chain, while others may run away. Some may also cause trouble and get into fights you might not want to have. We're trying to give the creature as much personality as possible, but also look and feel like real creatures, which are somewhat expressionless. So this is being portrayed via audio and the behaviour to the surroundings. Then someone's asking about animal armours, and it's a long-winded asked question, so I'm just going to go with the short version. Are you going to be using bug parts, and is it right that if you're a faction with ants that you'll be using ant parts for your body armour? Question is, yes, we're going to be using armour from same insects that you are basically friends with. But of course, just like a normal tree of life, there's lots of insects that kill each other and lots of creatures that will be friendly to each other or try and eat each other as predator and prey. So certain creatures aren't even going to care about their allies being killed because they protect the hive. And I like that idea as well. Like, don't get too namby-pamby with this, people. Where do you think we're getting these armour parts from, eh? It's not cosplay. So yeah, they said they want it to be realistic and relatable, but they also want it to be fun. So we will be getting parts of these. I mean, you might be able to make a armor suit out of your best and favourite bee. And taking a little glance at their Twitter page, it shows a bunch of new stuff off, particularly new sounds. Looks like they've added a bit more oomph to the gathering sounds, and in the background here you can see there's like water or sort of tarmac by the looks of things there, and it looks pretty realistic with the plants pretty much reacting to falling, and it drops in these little bags. Then got these weird little yellowy mushrooms as well being chopped down like a tree. And yeah, it looks like we are in some sort of possible swimming pool or tanker or something like that. And here's just another little clip showing more brand new sounds. They're basically updating the gameplay with the sounds of actually gathering resources and stuff. So yeah, it looks really cool, looks interesting. The world looks very bright and colourful. I actually really like that. It does look nice. It's looking pretty good. So I mentioned that you would be able to see more human elements, and like I said, I'm not a big fan of stuff like this if it's overused and stuff. I want to be a small folk, maybe running around, just living my best life in the forest and stuff. But if there was maybe some real reason to come and explore the car, maybe it's a quest item, or maybe we can come and get leather or rubber from the car, that could be pretty interesting. So yeah, it's pretty big though. You can really sense the sense of scale with the creature. It's not as microscopic as Grounded's characters. These are much bigger than them by the looks of things, and the car just doesn't look as huge as maybe you would expect. You can get up on top of it fairly easy. I like the coloured axe in this one as well. That's something I don't think I've seen before, where it looks pretty, I don't know, just more customizable, or certainly more brighter. And here we get to see a whole bunch of animations with combat. It looks pretty mad. The amount of pirouettes you're doing and the rolls, it looks like there is a roll mechanic in it as well. Just look, but it still wasn't enough. Still got owned by these, I'm guessing these black soldier ants by the looks of things. But yeah, it looks pretty intense. So hopefully the combat options are going to be pretty nice. You can see there's damage numbers on some of these as well, so I'm guessing that might be something you might be able to turn on or off if you really want to. And here we get a closer look again at some base building where someone's built into the trees, and that seems to be a big feature, like building your base in a tree, maybe to stay away from some predators. The little designs in that cottage, that's an NPC that we've explored and talked about in the past, but certainly yeah, that's a really cool place. So I guess this might be just her home, unless you can actually get away for NPCs to move with you. But here just basically showcasing that, yeah, don't jump around without some sort of parachute or something to break your fall. But yeah, the engineer, that's the name of that NPC. And here's the actual reveal of the Froggo. Looking pretty gnarly, actually, like a frog would look. Like it's not a cartoony frog by any means. And the bog environment here, the bog environment here looks pretty mean as well. You can see there's a big house in the distance too. So maybe we'll be exploring some of that, but yeah, you might not want to be caught up too much often in this swampy, boggy area. And as I told you guys, they've used it before, promotional footage showing the foosball table or the football to soccer table here as well. I kind of like this as well. It does look like they've got like little ears. I wonder if they will be shaped like an elf character. But yeah, imagine being able to play a little mini game. Stuff like that's fun. Like I said, some human elements in it, yeah, I think could be interesting for sure. Especially if you can actually play a game utilising this somehow. Now this was the one that really caught my attention a good few weeks ago, but I was busy just before Christmas and had some time off over the Christmas holidays, is this beetle. It just looks mad, like charging around on this guy will be super fun. So yeah, I can't wait to get on this creature and just run around. It looks like that's going to be a pretty powerful steed. And again, we've got lots of sort of buildings and railings and fences going around the place as well. So I'm presuming you'll be able to climb on top of that with some of these bugs or on your own. And in this one, you're going to be going through the swamp at night time. So even looking more foreboding. Yeah, definitely don't want to be caught out too long, too late in this one. I hope we'll get some more better quality pictures from our video footage soon. But you see the tyre there as well. Literally a swing tyre. So yeah, that's been just sitting there for ages. Could this be the home of massive big spiders? Possibly, given it looks like it's filled with spider webs inside that tyre. And I don't think no small game could be complete without a gnome. They're doing one thing that Grounded hasn't got yet is a gnome. And yeah, another look at a kind of different hammer like we've seen the axe, but it's got this like green glowing moss on some of them. Is that because it's going to be the base level tools, or is it something you can adapt or put on to give it just a bit more colour? And remember, one of the most exciting things about SMALLAND that I was really hyped for is the fact it's going to have proper seasons. You might see me mention this about another game that I'm showcasing this week called Derelicts. And yeah, I just love the idea that the environment's changed, that you're going to be going to one area for one thing during one season, but then in another season you might have to go somewhere else to get it, or get brand new resources because it is now a different season. So it looks fantastic. I actually like the winter look of this game a lot. There's still obviously lots of greenery, so it's just like a light snow. Maybe they've just got to do a bit more dusting on top of some of them roses and stuff to really give it that element, that effect. But yeah, it's looking pretty cool. And carrying on from that theme of winter, it looks like the mushrooms might provide a little bit of heat, or is it just because you've got a campfire underneath it? But yeah, it could be a good spot. Maybe you can't actually put the campfires down in snowy areas. You need to find a clearing for it, or it has to be underneath that. That's another mechanic I'm interested in. And some people have been worried that third person was the only viewpoint, but you will be able to go first person. Check out this glide in first person from one of these massive trees. Now this looks super cool. I really like the pagoda bridge there. We've seen that in a few other of their dev clips and stuff as well. But this is looking pretty interesting. The fact that you can glide that far. Remember, certain armor pieces will give you that ability. They're not just there cosmetic to look. They will have real decent options for you to traverse or have special uses that you're going to need. So yeah, it's looking pretty cool. And just to show you what it looks like gliding in third person though, we've got this clip as well. And again, it looks great. It does look really cool. There's lots of colours going on there. Got lots of pinks and greens and oranges and golden colours, as well as obviously what you expect. So yeah, can you actually stand on them plants and stuff like that? Or is this a base that we've got on a little island? Got a little ladybug there. Got various lots of foliage and stuff, which is pretty cool. And then walking back over to obviously your little base. So there we go, that is SMALLAND recapped over the last couple of months. Anything new, interesting, I'll let you guys know. There hasn't really been any interviews or anything like that. It looks like they were hard at work before Christmas, just working on stuff. And obviously with the news of their sort of mini delay in coming out in 2022 instead of 2021, I guess it meant that they could scale back a little bit and focus on content and stuff rather than having to worry about getting stuff ready for release. So yeah, as soon as we get any news about the actual demo taking place, I'll let you know. I'm just praying it's not anywhere near anything like February, as February is just way too busy with so many games and updates and stuff for other games too. But yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. Until next time, Rat Bags, I'll see you later.